Hello. I'll wait to see if anybody joins me. Happy Wednesday. This is my last day out of work. I go back tomorrow. Or so I promised the boss. Tomorrow I'd come back. I'd come back to work. I I don't know. I'll wait to see if any of you join me. It's a beautiful sunny day here. I know that it might not be so beautiful over in the States. I'm not sure exactly what your weather is. I know that in Florida it's raining, according to a friend of mine. Wait to see if any of you guys want to join me today. I had lunch today at KFC. It was wonderful. The chicken was very tender. And I'm having my dessert now. It's time for dessert. So, if anyone wants to join me for a blunt, I'm having my dessert now. You're welcome to join me for a blunt. It's dessert time. My son's home from school today. So, he may stop in. I don't know. He's here at home with me. His school has a day for students, honor roll students. My son doesn't happen to be one of those. So he has the day off because it's a special day today for students of our honor. And my daughter came home with a form yesterday from school stating that she was failing a class. And I had to sign the form for her. My kids are not on honor roll. When they were in the United States, they were honor roll students. They're not honor roll students here in Puerto Rico because of the language barrier and additional work to keep up with the work. So the kids are not honor roll students here in Puerto Rico. They are not. Hi, Angel. How are you? So yeah, today I take the day off because last Tuesday I had a guest come fly in and visit with me, and the person stayed an entire week, and recuperating from that visit, so to speak. So I promised the boss that I would come back to work tomorrow, and I will. I could have probably gone to work today because this woman went home, yesterday. But honestly, I had to bring this person to the airport at 3 a.m. And I was super exhausted. And I knew that I needed to get rest. And just knowing myself like I do, I knew that I needed one more night in like actual sleep. So here I am, home today. So I haven't been live in a while now, a few weeks. And this person that visited me is mainly the reason. I was entertaining this person and giving this person my time and a lot of my energy. And they came to visit. And there was no connection. Although I wish this girl the best, I truly do. There was no connection between her and I. In fact, when the girl and I were talking online for a month or so, and we were probably a couple 200 something hours into talking. I felt at that point that even if this person isn't exactly my type, because I knew that she wasn't, and I made that clear from day one that I'm not into that type of person, but she persisted, so I gave her an opportunity to shine, because I'll tell you what, I liked her personality or what she showed me, and I thought we would be great friends. I thought, if anything, we would be great friends, if not anything else. But yeah, that's not going to happen. We're not going to be friends. We're probably not going to be friends at all. She was one of those lifetime experiences where you meet someone and whatever happens, happens, and then you just go on with your life. And you don't know harm, no foul, no moving forward. You just walk away from it. And that's kind of where I'm at with this particular situation. It's just done. Um, so there's certain things people do. They cross boundaries. And for a very long time in my life, I didn't set boundaries. I wasn't able to set boundaries because I didn't want to lose the friendship or the relationship. So I tolerate things that I wasn't comfortable with. And I stopped doing that. And so, yeah, I feel, like boundaries may have been crossed that I don't think I can recoup the friendship. So, but on another note, I will say it's a beautiful day here in Puerto Rico. The sun was shining this morning. The clouds are rolling in. It'll probably rain. I was heading to the mountain to get dinner. I saw the sky ahead and decided to turn around. I'm really happy that I did do that because it turns out I had weed with me but no wraps. So I'd have been up there with my one hitter. And it's not really what I wanted. I do like for my dessert to have a full-size blunt. But anyways, I will say this. If you get into a relationship with somebody and, you have interest in them and they have interest in you, no is still no, for one. Just because you're with somebody doesn't mean they own you and have rights to you. And another thing is that, you gotta be careful who you trust. Just because you get into a relationship with somebody doesn't really know who they truly are, what their past is. You have to be cautious and vet people. I, made the mistake of having a stranger come into my home, and I probably shouldn't have done that. And it didn't end in tragedy, of course, but, it wasn't a great experience for myself or this person, so I wouldn't suggest doing that. Since this young lady's left, I've had other women ask if they can come visit here and have that same type of experience that this girl did with coming here and going out and doing things. But to be quite frank, I'm not looking to entertain that with anyone because I don't think I want to ever again bring another person into my home around my children and into my personal private space. I think it's just too difficult to do. Like, I don't plan on ever getting married again, that's for sure. And I definitely like to live alone. Like, alone meaning with my kids. With or without my kids, but, like, without others. People apart from my family. I'm just not down with that. I mean, I'll help you pay your rent if that's the situation and we're together. But I don't want the rent to be the same as mine. Like, same home. Like, if you live somewhere else, I could maybe help you, but I don't want anyone living with me. And after this last week, just having a stranger that I knew for a few months and 200 hours of talk time, I don't feel comfortable ever doing that again because I got out of my element and I became angry quicker than I typically do. I was annoyed more times often than not. And I tried to maintain, that attitude to not seem like I was annoyed, but I was fucking annoyed. One thing I can't deal with is emotional instabilities all day long. And I'm a woman's woman. I respect that you're going to get emotional, you're going to cry, you're going to have your period. You're going to reflect on sad things and you're going to have your moments of tears. But that can't be an everyday event for me. I can't have that in my life where every day you're the victim to something that's happened to you and you're mending those wounds and you need me to help you through it. It's just too much on me emotionally. So if you're ever looking to get in a relationship with me, know that you have got to be healed individual or not hurt ever. You haven't been through the fucking ringer, or if you've been through the ringer, you've healed yourself. You've forgiven the people that have hurt you. You've asked for forgiveness from the people you've hurt. You've mended and moved on. Because bringing baggage into a fucking relationship is really wild. It really is. You really need to be cautious of that getting into fucking relationships. Because if you're crying all the time and I don't know why you're crying and you're telling me that things are triggering you, I was born in 73, trigger ain't even a fucking word. Back in my day, we didn't get triggered. We got pissed off. We got annoyed. We got aggravated. We were mad about shit, but we weren't triggered. So, yeah, the fucking crying all the time because something triggered you. I'll tell you, ladies, right now, that's a very unattractive thing. Hi, Jennifer, baby girl. I love you. And hi, Betty. How are you? The trigger thing is fucking wild. People need to knock that shit off with being triggered. Every little fucking thing, the appearance of a waitress triggers you. The smell of a restaurant triggers you. Oh, the fucking beach triggers you. It's you can't go through life being fucking triggered. And that shit really annoys me. So yeah, if you ever want to get in a relationship with me, don't come damaged, please. Because I'm not saying I'm not damaged, but yeah, I've got some sealant on my cracks and it holds. So I'm not trying to fucking trauma bond with anybody. I don't want to sit there and talk about your fucking broken childhood and all that. And how you're fucking, can't get through your day without crying and stuff. Because that's drama. And on another note, when people tell you they don't want to have sex with you anymore, it's just fucking, that's what it is. Accept it. Just accept it. Move on. People don't like you and they want to be with you, then just don't fucking, be with them. But don't force yourself upon people, Don't have sex with people without their consent. Don't force yourself on others. Don't drug people. Don't fucking drug people so you can have your way with them, because that's wild too, That's a fucking crime. So yeah, don't do that. Keep your medicine that your doctor gives you for yourself. Don't drug your partner to get your way with them. That's fucking wild. So that's where I stand on those issues. I've decided to unfriend the situation. So the person that I had invited over to spend time with me is no longer a friend of mine. It ended in a way that I felt disrespected and violated and taken advantage of and exploited. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I felt very exploited. And I don't wish that for anybody. So yeah. And here's another thing. I don't care what town you live in, there's a fat, ugly fucking welfare bitch on every corner. No matter where you go. You're walking down the corner store, you run over to your Dollar General, wherever the fuck it is you guys got. There's always some fat slob hanging around that's single. That bitch will fucking pay your rent. She will fucking cook for you. She will clean for you. She will suck your dick every night. You do not need to fucking go be with someone and force someone else or put yourself, in somebody else's home on false pretense. Like, there's a fucking whore for everyone. Like, free and willing. Like, willing. Will fucking be with you willingly. Like I said, they'll do your laundry and everything. They'll pay your rent. They'll move you in with them. You don't have to pay rent. They'll fucking move you in on their Section 8 voucher and hide you. I promise you. But yeah, you don't need to go victimize other people. Because there's a slug for everyone out there. There truly is. So, and I don't mean to be an asshole, but, I mean, that's just my opinion on that. Don't take what ain't yours. So, yeah, that's how I feel. Shit pisses me off. And my friend Jennifer, who's on live here now, Jen Unforgettable, she's got a channel, Unfiltered Corner. If you guys want to go join her page, Unfiltered Corner, I'd appreciate that. I would truly appreciate that if you could go do that for me. You can go to her Facebook page and you can look her up. She's on my friend list, which is real easy to go. Right to my page, go on my friend list, go to Jennifer Unforgettable, and you click on her page, you add her as a friend, and she's going to give you the link to her YouTube so that you can link on and, you can support her channel because she's a friend of mine. I'd really like to see her channel build and grow. Now, I invited this young lady to come join me and collab with me down at the Lesbian Fest. But her husband says, no, no, no. You're not going down there to the Lesbian Fest with Lesbian Laura. So I'm doing a podcast down there, and I wanted Jennifer to go with me to build her channel because her channel is women's issues mostly, and life issues. And I wanted her to build some followers. So if you could join her channel to help her build followers, because she's not coming to the Lesbian Fest because hubby says, Mr. Unforgettable says, no fucking way. No fucking way. So that's great. And I'm going to need someone. There she is. There's her link. Jennifer Unforgettable. It's in the comments. Unfiltered Corner. Everybody link on. Give her a like. Like her fucking content for me. She's a great girl. She's from Lawrence, Massachusetts. And for all my Massachusetts friends, she's, she's in-house. She's local. She's from Lawrence. I met Jennifer at an event, another podcaster's event. And, the girl's great. She's a real life person. She's great. I like her. And, she can't come to the Lesbian Fest with me. I was going to have her do the Latinas, the Latina girls interviews. We're interviewing single lesbians at this Girls in Wonderland event in Orlando in June. And Jennifer, I wanted her to do the Latina girls because there's a large influx of Latinas. And she's Spanish-speaking Puerto Rican, hot Boricua. I think that's why her husband's not letting her go. He doesn't trust me. I don't think that he doesn't trust the 1,000 other lesbians she might be around. I think he doesn't trust me. Anyways. Yeah. I need someone to be my camera person. I need someone to hold my camera while I do my interviews. So if any of you lovely lesy ladies want to come hold my camera, you don't even have to be a leslie. You can just be like, a regular lady who likes dick. Tell your man I'll be back and come down. Maybe you'll go home a lesbian. Who knows? But, yeah, definitely need a camera girl. So, if anybody's out there, need me a camera girl. Got me a date. Just need a camera girl. Got me 2 dates. My Miss Christy Lee, my good friend Christy Lee is accommodating me at her Airbnb, and she is going to come to some of the events with me. And I've got another friend, my Miss Jane. She's a lovely lady living in Florida, and she also would like to come with me. But she's a shy girl. Now, Miss Jane doesn't want to hold the camera, I'm sure, because she doesn't like to be in the limelight. She doesn't like that type of attention. So, welcome, Jane. We'll have to find a camera girl. I need a camera girl. Kate O'Brien, how are you? You're in Florida, Kate. Why don't you stop in at the Lesbian Fest and be my camera girl, huh? Huh? Stop into the Les Fest. I'd love to see you. I haven't seen you since high school. Who knows, Kate? You might go home with a wife. Maybe it'll be me. Yeah. It's in Orlando. You can look it up online. It's called Girls in Wonderland. And it's June 4th through the 8th. There's a bunch of events, pool parties, dancing, all this shit, you know. I'm doing a podcast, and I'm going to be interviewing single lesbians, and so everyone's going to have a number, and so if you find a leslie that you like, you can hit them up by getting their number. And so, yeah, if anyone wants to be my camera girl, hold my camera, I'd appreciate that, and I will pay your expenses to the events that you do come and hold my camera for me. And Kate, if you want to come, you're local. I mean, it'll give you something to do for the week. You know, and I know you're in Florida now, so if you want to come, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to be staying in Florida for the week. And like I said, my great friend Christy Lee Ross, she set me up with her Airbnb so graciously. And because she knows if she don't give me the Airbnb, I'm going to go to her house. I'm going to shove her husband out of the bed and lay next to her anyway. She's cute. And she's an ex-lesbian. So yeah, there's that. But she's going to come, and she's good fun. And I've known Chrissy since she was about 14 or 15 years old. And she's a sweetheart. And I look out for her and protect her with my life. I really will. But, yeah, no, Kate, if you don't work 74 hours that week, you're more than welcome to come. You could always put in for time off. And like I said, you don't have to be a lesbian to come enjoy the beautiful women. I'm doing interviews. I won't be doing any clean carpets that week, I don't think. I think I'll just be doing my interviews. I'm not exactly going, to find a wife. I'm just going there to interview single ladies looking for their love interest and trying to make those connections to those girls. Yeah, Jen, the girls are probably going to try to steal you. But if you want, I can chain you to me. And I'll fight them. I'll fight you for you. If your husband thinks that the lesbians will steal you away. Because I'm sure they would like to steal you away. But that's the thing, Jennifer. You're an attractive girl, and you would get a lot of attention. And that's where your draw would be. You would have a large line for interviews because you are a very approachable, attractive young woman. And I think Mr. Unforgettable could come stay with us at the Airbnb and find other things to do while you go do your interviews, maybe. I'll have to talk to your hubby about that. I mean, I can hook him up with Christy's husband, Justin. They can hang out, I'm sure. Fuck, Christy will be out of work that week. He can go work for her in her spot. He can go clean the businesses for Christy while we go to the Les Fest. He should be afraid, especially with Laura Pike in tow. I will have you cheating so fucking hard. So yes, you better you better bring the hubby. Yes, you better. I will have you cheating so hard. It's always that situation. She's always got a friend. There's always a friend. And then you got to deal with the friend. The friend's going to sit there and watch. What are you going to do with the friend? So it's nice to have a wingman. God damn. What are you going to do? You got the friend. Friend going to sit in the living room? No. The friend wants to join. At these events, the party never ends. Even after the events, the hotels, the doors are wide open. Everybody's room to room. People are just all over the place visiting with each other. And they just really, the party doesn't fucking end. It goes on for a week. So, yeah, you build your channel for sure, Jen. Your channel would fucking grow because, you'd have thousands of women at your disposal to sit there and interview. They're not going anywhere. They're there because they want to be, So, talk to hubby again. And I promise I'll behave. I'll be good. I won't do nothing that I shouldn't do. All right. I will say, last time I did go to Florida, I fucking went to jail. I did do that. I went to jail. And Christy bailed my ass out. She did. And I got down there and I was in jail. And I didn't even have a way to get a hold of nobody. I went to the jail. And the guy that I was with at the time, him and my son, went on my phone and called Christy because they knew she lived in Florida and kind of in the area we were in. And they kind of like, hey, introduced themselves like, hey, Laura's people, and she's in jail. And Christy came right down and picked him right up, brought him to her house, had her man make him breakfast. She got right on it, get me out of jail. And accommodated my son and my friend the whole time that I was in the jail, and even when we got out, because she's a good friend like that. She looks right out for me. But yeah, I am a bad influence, and I apologize. I do things. I'm sorry for that. But I would behave if you came, for the sake of your channel to grow. And I would like to see you join me, Jennifer, if you could. And if not, I'd like to find someone else to collab with me. Preferably someone that speaks Spanish. Because Florida, there in that particular area, there are a lot of Hispanic women that will be attending. And people like me coming from Puerto Rico, they'll be Puerto Ricans, right, Jennifer? Boricuas. So, yeah. I really would like to have you come, if you can. I really would, Jen. And I've got a list of people that want interviews, so it's getting large, like my list of people that want to do the interviews. And so I was going to spontaneously interview people, but people like messaging me, hitting me up to ensure they get an interview. So I got a hold of, I emailed the event managers to see if they could set me up a booth or a corner, because I originally planned to just move about freely and, do the interviews. But now that I've got people specifically seeking me out, I thought maybe it'd be easier to locate me if I stayed in one location. Because these people know what I look like, but I don't know what they look like, aside from their pictures on their Facebook or social media or whatever email they send me. So, but I'm excited to go to the event, mainly because I need to get away. It's the month of my birthday, and it's like a gift to myself to get away from just everything and have fun, I guess. I had planned to take the woman that visited this past week with me to that event, but that's not going to happen, because we didn't work out. And that's all I'll say about that. That we just simply didn't work out. And I need to be true to myself and be with someone that I'm truly attracted to, and that I not gonna settle. I'm just not gonna do that. So, but today's a lovely day, so I am gonna get out and enjoy the day. I have messages And I seen that messages have come in, and I will get back to the people messaging me. I have a lot of messages to catch up on. In the last week that this woman's been here, I've not responded to my messages, and if I have at all, it's been very lightly, so I apologize to everyone. It's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just finding the sitting down time to sort through all the messages. Hi, Justine. How are you, honey? I know you must be freaking exhausted. My daughter's like the best. She works so damn hard. It's fucking crazy how much she works. She'll work like a job for like 10, 12 hours and go to another job for the same amount of time. It's just crazy. She's always working. She's a very hardworking girl. And she's soon to be divorced. She's a single mom now, so it's even more stressful to have two jobs and be a parent on top of that. So I respect and appreciate all that she does for her son. My daughter's a very good mother to her child. She has the one child, but she's also a stepmother to 4 other children. So there's 5 kids in the equation she takes care of. And my daughter's only 20, her 20s, so it's kind of wild, to be in your 20s and have 5 kids. She's, a couple of years shy of 30, you get 5 kids, but one of them's hers biologically, my grandson Mustard, and he's fucking adorable. He's the cutest little thing. He really is cute. My grandson's adorable. He's the cutest little boy, and he calls me his grandmother. He says grandmother, which is accurate. I'm always dirty. KFC for lunch today. And the tenders were so fucking good. They were so tender. I think that's why they name them tenders, because they was tender. Yeah, it's beautiful here. It's sunny and gorgeous. The sun's out. The mountains were clouding up, so I avoided the mountains today and I ate local. But it's still really nice out. It's really nice out. Hi, Jill. How are you, honey? Jill's a great person. I don't know if any of you other guys know Jill. I know Justine knows Jill DeGroff. Jill's a great mom, grandmother. She raised great kids. She's got really great family. She had a couple daughters and a son, and she has a ton of grandkids, And she's like that kind of grandmother or mother that, her house is like always open. That type, the kids can always go there and count on her. That's like that house of safety. And, her sisters are like that too. Her sister Stacy Ross, this fucking girl, I ain't gonna lie, knock on this girl's door one day and I'm like, I need some food. And she's like, goes to her freezer and digs me out some steaks. like the good fucking girl. Her husband, Billy, he's a mailman. He's like the only mailman in town pretty much. But yeah, he's the mailman. And they're such good people. They're just good fucking people. But that whole family, and the sister Amy, she's a sweetheart. She's got a daughter and a grandson, and she loves the shit out of her grandson, But I'll tell you, they're the nicest family. I don't know if you guys know that family, but they're the really nicest family. Great family from Whitehall. People's people. You could really just knock on their fucking door and tell them you're hungry and they'll feed you. Ain't got nowhere to go. They'll let you crash on their couch kind of people. Just real folks. Like you, Jennifer. Unforgettable. Real folks. Hi, Jessie Netto. How you doing, my girl? Jessie's another good mama. Jessie's a good mama. She got some beautiful kids. She got a son who's like become a man. And I remember the first time I met her son, he was like 2 or 3 years old. She had just come back from North Carolina. She had abandoned a bad relationship. And she was restarting her life back in her hometown. And she had her little boy with her in the car. And I met him. And he was just this little tiny thing, Oh, fuck, you go on her Facebook now. Her son is this big man that lives with her. He's like a man. It's fucking wild. And she's got a beautiful daughter that's still growing, still in school. And she's like on the town board in Whitehall, you know. I'm not sure exactly her position in town. Jesse, if you're still watching, let us know what you do over there in Whitehall, what your position is in town. But yeah, she's good people. And see, she's like a staple in town. Those Nettos, the Netto family, they've been there for fucking ever. There's a street named after these people. This fucking Netto Street. Literally. This family has been there so long. They're a staple in town, you know. Yeah, her son's 18 now. 18. I can't even believe that 18 years has passed since you've had that child. It seems like yesterday I was standing in front of Patorti's, looking into your car, talking to him. He's the cutest little kid, too. He was cute. He was a little shit. And he was a mischief kid. I remember when I lived in town, he was fucking a mischief kid. He hung around with Janice's kids for a while. And Janice was my babysitter. And Janice had like 5 kids of her own, 1 daughter and 4 sons. And she had challenges. You know, one of her sons, James, had lots of, needs. He was autistic on the spectrum, and he had a lot of needs. She's a village board member, Jessie is. Town's compliance officer, and she's about to be the code officer. That's because they can't find anyone competent. She's the only one over there with a fucking brain. She's the only one with a brain. She used to run the rec center. She was the only one that did it right. And it was a fucking mess. The rec center was a fucking hot mess. And Jessie got involved and it all got controlled. You know, it was all fucking like made sense. It was like things the kids would, like there was activities set up. You know, like not just kids running wild. And Jessie was really good at organizing shit. So I would imagine her house is very clean and organized and all that too, because she's very organized, that person. And take charge. You know, she takes charge of shit. She's not someone you bully around. You can't bully this girl around. She stands her fucking ground, you know. She stands up for herself. She's not a weak girl. So she's a good person for the job, you know, to have that kind of job. And there's so many people I know over there that are not in compliance. She'll handle their asses. Yeah, I know she will. My brother-in-law, Tom, I know for a fact he's not in compliance with his lawn. Always. Always. He be drunk and he don't mow the lawn. He's got that big yard over there up on, I think it's West Street. I'm not sure which street he's on. One of the ones over across street up from Patorti's. I think Queen Street. And yeah, the lawn's he's always getting citations from the city about it. And I'm like, well, you know, you could always just come home and not get drunk. He works hard. He works at Green Mountain, but still, he doesn't mow the fucking lawn. He's like, that damn compliance officer. And I'm like, yeah, I like her. She's cute. What house did you buy on Pulteney Street? Is it my old house, number 53? The one that Lana and I lived in? When Lana lived in? Not when I lived in? Is it across from Stewart's? Yeah, my brother-in-law, he's something. So he hooked up with this girl, Becca, from town, from Whitehall over there. And I don't know what's going on with them right now. I don't know if she left him or if something happened with her. But all of a sudden he's devastated, like threatening suicide and all this crazy nonsense about ending his life because something about her not being present right now. So I'm not sure what's going on with my brother-in-law, but he suffers alcohol issues. I love Tom. Tom, if you're out there, I care about you. I do. But he knows that the alcohol has destroyed his life. It literally just takes and steals from him. This guy had that fucking shot, you know, where you get and you don't fucking drink because if you do, it makes you really fucking sick. And when he had that shot, man, he was at his best. He was at his fucking best. And Tom's the nicest guy on the fucking planet. He's the nicest guy you ever want to fucking meet. I mean, I remember when Justine was literally in kindergarten and she got brand new glasses. And there was a kid in her class that was a foster kid. He used to get brought to school through the system. And the system picked him up every day. And he put her backpack under his ass and sat on it. And the glasses were in the backpack. And they got crushed. And at the time, I was with Jimmy Luckins. So don't you know, I was on Medicaid. And they didn't cover a second pair of glasses. And so when I called that day to replace them, they said, no, it'd be $300 to get new ones. And Tom just said, here, take the $300, go get the fucking glasses. And like, no, I can't take your money. He's like, oh, fuck, no, my niece ain't going without fucking glasses. You go get her fucking glasses. So I went and got her the glasses, and I'm going to tell you right now that when I had the $300 and I tried to give it back to Tom, he absolutely 100% and refused to take the money and insisted that if I was going to give it at all, because I refused to, not pay him, that I would give it to his mother. That's the kind of man Tom is. Tom's a very good man, very giving, very kind, loving, concerned type of individual. Give you the shirt right off his back. He wears his heart on his sleeve. But the alcohol is fucking destroying him, because when he drinks, he thinks he's fucking Muhammad Ali. He wants to fist fight. He punches telephone poles and walls. He'll approach strangers and try to box them. I mean, he's gotten into more trouble because of the drinking, and he's the nicest fucking guy you ever want to meet. He really is. And, I've known Tom for years and years and years. And the times that he was in trouble in jail and stuff like that, Jimmy and I, we stepped up for him. We looked out for Michael. We made sure he got the things he needed. We always were there for Mike, getting his birthday presents and Christmas presents and Easter baskets and Halloween costumes. Like when Mike graduated the 8th grade, Tom was in jail. And it was all because of his fucking drinking shit, Everything that he ever goes in trouble for was based on his drinking. He missed his son graduating. So Jimmy and I ended up buying all his stuff for graduation and taking him. And I felt really bad sending pictures of his kid to the jail. Here's your kid thriving, while you're locked like a fucking rat in a cage. But, I wish Tom the best. I message him often, and sometimes I get a reply and sometimes I don't. Usually when he's shit-faced drunk, he will call me and tell me how I got the wrong brother. Yeah, being with Annie Luckins was the wrong brother. But, you're young and you live and you learn. You just live and learn. I have nothing against Jimmy, my ex-husband. I don't. He's a good guy, and I'm sure that he's feels like shit that he walked out on his kid when she was 9 and never looked back. Never paid me a fucking penny. Never gave her a fucking gift, a card, a phone call. I mean, he's got to be feeling like a piece of shit for doing that to his only child, because he has no other kids. And the lady he's been living with for the last 20 years or whatever, she's got 2 fucking kids that he helped her raise. So, he has to feel like a piece of trash that he sat there and raised her fucked up kids. And I say fucked up lightly because they are fucked up. The fucking kids are fucked up. And I'm not trying to be rude, but I mean, a lot of kids these days do come fucked up. And, she happened to have 2 fucked up kids. And he helped raise her 2 fucked up kids. Well, meanwhile, his completely problem-free, normal functioning child was completely ignored. His biological child, he ignored her. So that didn't sit well with me, but I don't hold it against him. Because, he grew up poor and always dependent, never having shit. They always leaned on people and manipulated situations to work out for survival purposes. And so they're just kind of people that will latch on. Because, he told me back in the day, Jimmy always told me that, fat girls were like fucking a tub of rubber, and that, if he ever did go to fat girls because he wanted a good blowjob because they try harder and stuff like that. And then he left me and went right to a fat girl. So, I mean, I knew that he wasn't truly attracted to her, but I also knew that she could get him pills and, they had things in common. So I let it be what it was, even though I hated the girl. And I fought with her for a couple of years when he first left me over her. I was scorned over it. But the best part about it is, if you look at these people now, the woman he's with, this April Marshall chick, and you look at him and how he's aged, man, all I know is when I saw a picture of him, I thought somebody would show me a picture of their grandfather. I'm like, who the fuck's that guy? I'm like, who's that old man? That's your ex-husband. Like, the fuck it is. That's a picture of his old man. No, that's your husband. It's your ex-husband. That gray, fat, old bastard right there, that thing? Really? Well, I'm sorry to see how he's aged. Same with my second husband. I don't think there's a tooth left in his fucking mouth. Fat, sloppy, unkept looking, teeth all rotted away. And I cried over these fucking men. Like, I was like, don't leave me. We have a family. What about the children? Yeah. I see those guys now, and I'm just like, oh, okay. I think Jimmy's crippled or something. Back's all fucked up. Can't move, can't walk, got disability, can't take care of himself, Can't fuck. Or maybe he can. I don't know. Maybe he's one of those on his back kind of guys. She goes for the ride. All I know is last time I seen him, he looked so fucking broken, it weren't funny. Now a decade's passed. I saw a picture. I said, yeah. I hope that they're doing good in life. I do. I know that my ex-husband went back on the fire department, the volunteer fire department, because my daughter sent me pictures of him standing there with his fire department crew. And she sends me a picture like, look at this fucking idiot. Always looking like a fucking idiot. And these guys look a total idiot. And I look at the picture and I'm like, yeah, absolutely. He looks like a total fucking idiot. But so don't I, so it works out. I'm an idiot too. Yeah. They aged horribly. Fucking horribly. And I didn't age great either. I mean, like I said, I don't wear makeup. I don't use filters. And I've had my face ripped apart. But I still ain't aged as hard as those folks have. So good luck to those people. Whatever happens with them in their lives, I hope the best for them. I just know that they never did anything for the kids that they made with me. I mean, they don't even know. I think, like, Jimmy got a hold of Justine like less than a year ago, maybe a year ago. I don't even know. But now he knows who she is. But I'll tell you right now, Josh wouldn't recognize his kids. He wouldn't recognize them. He knew that my daughter was visiting Justine. And he told his Uncle Jim that he thought he saw his daughter. That's because he knew there was a teenage girl there. But yeah, he wouldn't recognize those kids if he stood beside him because he hasn't seen them since they were 1 and 2. They're 1 and 2, and now they're 13 and 14, almost 14, 15 in August. So it's crazy. And Jesse, you've aged really well. I mean, I didn't age great, but like I said, my face was clawed apart years ago, so it sank in a lot of sections where the clawing is really deep. My lips are all ripped through. My lips repaired, but the scars still, show where they went through. And I had filler injected in my lips like 30 years ago, or whenever this happened, back in my, late 20s. And the filler comes out from time to time. It'll get it'll just start bubbling out of my fucking lips. So I know that's something I should have addressed more than a decade ago as far as going back. I was supposed to have this, this light treatment they do. They put a light over you and they go over the scars and it lessens them. But it's expensive to do and I don't have insurance, nor do I have the fucking time for it. But anywhere that you have the scars, it gets really weak in that area and it sinks. You get premature wrinkles and stuff, which is very obnoxious when your 30s and 40s to always be asked what happened to your face. But now that I'm older, it's less likely that I'm asked shit because people just assume I'm old with age, and it's wrinkles. So it works out. People assume it's natural wrinkles, and a lot of them are natural. Because, I am aging, but they sink heavy anywhere I got scars. And the ones that run through my lips, they weren't able to erase, but they were able to fix my lips. So that's the thing is Yeah, you get Botox injections. See, now when this happened to me, Botox was new. And actually they actually introduced it to me and we talked about Botox, but I was afraid of it because at the time it was new and there was a lot of complications with it. But I did have a filler injected because they did fix the skin on my lips. So you'll see the scarring all here and the scarring here that comes through, but this is all fixed. And they actually took a piece of skin from under my leg in the back of my right leg, and it's here. It's right under there. And that's what holds this piece of skin up on my chin where it was ripped downward. It holds this piece here up. And it holds all that filler in right there. So I really need to get that type of injection to, get that where I've lost all that filler to get it back. But I honestly can't say that my lips have changed in shape as a result of it. They have thinned out for sure. But, that filler leaked over the last 30 years, little by little. And it really hasn't leaked until the last 10 years. I noticed it, like, in the last decade, more so, that it'll bubble up around the edges and then just kind of, like, when you touch it, they'll break and it's like an oily substance. You can feel it's like sticky, like. So, I could probably go back for treatments, but, they're expensive. I had insurance when this first happened, and I got 12 treatments. So I did have 12, light treatments, mostly on this side where most of the damage was, because this side weren't that bad. So they focused the most on this side. But after the 12th one, they wanted me to pay. And yeah, that shit ain't cheap. That shit ain't cheap. So I just stopped going. And I knew that if I did maybe 12 more visits, I probably wouldn't have the sinking that I do now, the weakness. But it's still going to happen either way. Because anywhere you put a scar on your body, there's a weakness in the tissue in that area. So I decided over age, I'm not even going to fight it anymore. So fucking let it be what it is. I don't give a fuck, because this part of my mouth was like ripped off, and my chin was flopped forward. The skin was flopped so forward you could actually see the chin bone. It was exposed right to the chin bone. So they did a really good job fixing it the way it is. I mean, I can't complain. I've seen worse facial scars. My mother hated this thing. And she got a big fucking tiff with the hospital when I had this done because they had a student work on it. So my mother went fucking nuts about that because it's my face and it was my forehead all split open like that. But you can see that more than you can see this. This, that. But it is what it is. We age. We're like okay with our scars. It's when we're younger we try to hide them. Now they're old, I don't even care if people notice them or not. Like I said, people don't bring it up as much as they did when I was younger. But in certain seasons, it exposes it. It's like if I lay in the sun, like some of those scars really stand out differently. My face gets sun. So, yeah, they'll blend in differently. Like in the winter when I was living up north and I wasn't like on an island getting sun all the time. You wouldn't see that shit at all. They blend in really good. I worked with a lady over here for like a year and a half before she noticed my scars. One day we were driving in the car and I pulled my skin back and she was like, yo, what the fuck? I said, what? She said, yo, what are all them fucking scars to your face? I said, what? You never seen them? She's like, no. I go, you look at me every fucking day. She goes, I never looked that close. She goes, I never seen you like that close in the light, because we were in the car and the sunlight was hitting my face. She was like, wow, your fucking face is wrecked. I said, yeah, it is. That's why for a long time I hated meeting new people. I fucking hated that shit. They won't ask me what the fuck happened. You know what I tell them, Jesse? When they say, what happened to your face? You know what I tell them? I've been to Bump's house. I visited Bumpy Gordon. That's what happened to me. Anytime anyone asks you why you're fucked up in any aspect, you just tell them you've been to Bumps. That's all. And that covers you. It's like a fucking waiver. Anyone from that area that's been to bumps, there's a waiver for you if you're fucked up. You're okay. It's all right. Yeah, because the shit that went down in that man's house, my God. If it didn't seem like a train wreck, it looked like a train wreck. True story. True story, Jesse. Yes, it is. That fucking guy caused so much damage in that fucking small town. And I don't even think he realizes how many fucking people he victimized along the way. And I'll say that openly and fucking freely. That fucking guy took advantage of so many fucking people. Let me tell you, that dude put his dead son's ashes in fucking food that he served to people. Because who does that? Who the fuck does that? If my child died, I wouldn't want to lose a fucking ash. I wouldn't want to lose a piece of him. Never mind dump them into some fucking people hanging at your house, food for entertainment purposes, you know? I remember when Justine was like 12 or 11, and he was like, damn, your daughter's looking nice. I wouldn't mind fucking her. I said, what? I said, well, you better go fuck your mother. He said, hey, that ain't right. My mother's dead. I said, well, dig that bitch up and fuck her anyway, because you ain't fucking my daughter. And that's like the last time I went to that man's house, you know? And, yeah, he was fucked up. He did fucked up things to his guests. I mean, you'd go to visit this guy, he'd steal everyone's backpack. If he had a bag or a purse, it was gone. He'd fucking steal it. But yeah, he'd drug people. Fucking drug people. Left, right, and fucking sideways. I mean, dropping all kinds of shit in people's drinks and their food. Putting your dead son's ashes in your fucking friend's food is for entertainment is fucking wild. Hey, Jamie. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well. I miss you, Jamie. Jamie, you remember this? Huh? You remember that, Jamie? I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, Jamie. But when I smoke a blunt and I do this, I think about you. You were a cute kid when I met you. You were all of 12, 13 when I met you. You were a good kid, too. You were misunderstood. Yes, you were. Yes, the cigarettes. You were a good boy. You were a really good boy. And I know that, you know, somewhere in life you got hung up, but you fixed your problems and you got right and you're successful now. And I'm very proud of you. I'm very, very proud of who you've become. Because, you know, you didn't have it easy. You know, you didn't have it easy. Have a good day, Jesse. Love you. Jim, you didn't have it easy, you know. And, yeah, I always had a soft spot for your whole family. You and Jay and your sisters. I will say, you know, God bless your mother. I miss her. She tried really hard. Single mom, you know, raising all those kids, you know, on her own. You know, it wasn't easy on her. You know, it wasn't easy on your mom. She was a good woman. Things were different back then, you know. Things were different back then. People were more free to let their kids do things. And so, you know, you found yourself in trouble, Jamie. You did a lot, but you were a good kid. Same with your brother, but you both turned your shit around. You both turned your shit around. You're doing okay for yourselves. And I'm glad that all of you guys are doing well. You know, you're a beautiful family. I always loved and cared about you guys, and I think about you guys. I do. I think about you guys from time to time. But yeah, when I go like that one, I'll never forget when you ran into that U-Haul driving down the road. You said, I'm all right. You told me, you're all right. I knew you had to have been hurt. I knew you had to have been fucking hurt. You turned around and bang, you ran right into the fucking side of the thing. God. We used to sit there and play Woody, waiting for the Woody wagons to drive by. That's when the fucking minivans first come out with wood panels on the side of them. You'd punch the shit out of my arm. Woody. Have a good day, Jamie. Go back to work, honey. Be safe at work. I do love and miss you. And I love watching your stories. And I love that you hung on to Devin. I love that you guys hung on to Greg's kid. You know, that you made him part of your family and that you guys, you know, you look out for him. Because, God, he looks just like Greg. He looks just like his father. I remember little Devin, fucking Devin Tremblay. The kid would be like 3 years old. It's like fucking 4 in the morning. He's up on the fucking top of the kitchen table playing the air guitar. Get the fucking corn or something. His parents were young, you know. Greg and Erin got into it really young. I think they had 3 kids by the time she was 17. She couldn't go to Pizza Plus, which is at the bottom of her street, and get a pack of cigarettes because she wasn't old enough to. But she had 3 kids at home. She had a hard root. She was a nice girl. Erin was a nice girl. I always liked her. And she went on to have another kid with a different man, and then her and Greg worked it back out. Greg took up for that kid, but then Greg overdosed. I think he was with Deacon's sister at the time. I haven't seen those people for fucking ever because they were always into some shit. And I'm into shit, but quietly. I move quiet. But yeah, those fucking people, I'm going to tell you, they had their times. They sure did have their times. They were something. But Jamie Ludwig was a great kid. He was a great child. Had he grown up in different circumstances, he'd be incredibly successful today. He's successful now, but he had to go through a lot of fucking hardships to get to where he is. He wasn't handed anything. He wasn't handed anything at all. And neither was Jason or his sisters. They were not handed shit. Their mother got lucky in love and married a really good guy, Jim. And he, you know, facilitated a nice home for them and provided more of a stable environment for them. But just the same, that was not easy. That poor mother having all those kids to raise. And the father, Frank, he's a good fucking dude. But he had issues back in the day when his kids were growing up. He was dependent on alcohol. He wasn't in a place to be a father. He was in no place to be a role model to his sons or his daughters. So he was out of the picture for the most part. He's in the picture now, which I see, which is absolutely beautiful, that he has a relationship with his kids, you know, and his grandkids. But that guy struggled. My dad knew the guy. He struggled, and he loves his kids. So if you grow up with your dad out of the picture because he's struggling with alcohol and mom working all the fucking time. I mean, fucking the mother, Gail, she had to have had fucking goddamn veins the size of fucking tunnels because she was always on her feet working. The lady always working. She was like a waitress, and she worked. The lady came home and worked. She was cleaning up the house, doing laundry, always working. The lady was a hell of a hard worker. The lady was, and she just, you know, had a lot of kids, and she was alone. She didn't have support that she should have. You know, it was a good thing when Jim came into her life because he gave her stability that she deserved. But she's since passed away. And she was a great lady. And the other woman that I was friends with at the time, the neighbor, the friend of theirs, this lady, Sue Ross, she was like a really great woman as well. And I used to party with her and her daughter, Kelly, and they've both since passed away. Kelly had some conditions, Sue passed away, you know. But that block back in the day, those people were great. They were great. Like, you could pull out the grill and everybody would come by for a burger and everybody would get along. The neighbors were great. The parents were great. And I know we reflect back on our childhood and look at the mistakes our parents made, but the times were different. You know, it was just different times. You were more free to let your kids do things. And, you know, you figure shit out, you know. You didn't do the victim mentality back then. You just figured shit out. I just remember Gail being real fucking strong leader type mom. She figured shit out. She weren't no idiot, you know. She knew what she was doing. Her kids never had, you know, like to go to school without shit. Like, they had decent clothes. I know that. They always looked good. The kids looked good. And I remember she provided, you know. She also took care of her grandmother. And it wasn't like her grandmother. I think it was like her great grandmother. I mean, the lady was really old and she was like senile. Every now and then she'd pick up a knife and start chasing people around, calling them whores. It's kind of wild. But, you know, she didn't know any better. She was a sweet little old lady, fragile, tiny little fucking thing, but strong, strong, strong. She'd get a knife in her hand, start chasing people, you try to get a hold of her to stop her. You'd actually have to struggle her because she was strong. And she'd losing her shit, so she'd just get up and go nuts on people. But yeah, the mother took care of the 5, 6 kids, a bunch of kids. You know, she had her 5, and then she had another one from a different guy who didn't work out. I think he paid support, but he didn't really visit the kid very, very, very much. Like on the weekends here and there. She had the kids all the time. She had the mother, the grandmother all the time. She worked a bunch of shit jobs, like didn't pay great jobs, but she worked really hard. So it was like, wow, man, she was an amazing woman. She was my neighbor. She lived on the first floor. So I met these kids, the Ludwigs. So I met them. They were her kids, and they were home after school and shit, and I'd be like hanging out in my apartment. They'd be all downstairs, mama working and stuff. So I'd go down and make them a big bowl of macaroni and cheese or something. Hi, Danielle, how are you? Danielle was in the neighborhood back in the day, and her mother was a fucking saint too. Her mother was a saint, putting up with Jay and Wayne's shit. Danielle's brothers, they fucking put Nancy through shit. Always in trouble. Always doing dumb shit. Typical boys, That's how it was back in the 90s and shit like that. The boys were on the streets doing dumb shit. It was the norm. But Danielle, she come from a good family. Her father, he was off the chain. That guy didn't have weed. He'd kill a man. He was cool. I really liked him. Yeah, he didn't like for many people, but he'd talk with me. He would. And he was a sob enthusiast. Some friend of his gave him a sob, and after that, he just was like a sob enthusiast. The guy loved sobs. Rest in peace, Wayne Allquist. He was a good man, he was. Danielle, your father, he was a good man. And I know he was tough. People were afraid of him. He'd fuck your shit up. He would fuck your shit up. But he was a provider, He was there for his family. He was there. The mother, sweetheart. Total fucking sweetheart. I always liked Nancy, And Danielle's daughter looks just like her. She literally looks just like the grandmother. When I see her daughter, I see her mother. It's crazy. The kid literally looks like the grandmother. Beautiful. And Nancy's really pretty. She was one of the girls that, like, back in the day, she was fucking hot, But then 4 kids later, she was like, I'm just a mom. But yeah, I always liked the Allquists. I always liked the Ludwigs. And the 2 Jasons, Jason Allquist and Jay Allquist, hung around together. They were like 2 peas in a pod, they were. You would have thought they were brothers. They were together so much. But I always liked those families. They were good people. Wayne was a good man. He took up for kids that weren't his. And, he was just a provider. The son, Danielle's brother, he was like always fucking solid, And he ended up with a solid woman. And their kids end up turning out to be good, really decent people, all of them. And Danielle's son, God, looks just like her brother, Jay. The kid looks like Jay. He doesn't look like his own father. The father of these kids is a stranger in that relationship in regards to the looks. The kids are all Danielle's people. 100%. I look at her daughter and all I see is her mother. I look at her son and all I see is her brother. Fucking facts. I don't know where her husband fits into the equation. But those kids got mama's DNA through and through. And they're really cute kids. Beautiful. And just like I thought, when Danielle had kids, they would be clean and decent and respectable. And of course they are. Because I know how she is. I knew how she would raise those kids to be. So when I see their pictures and their achievements, I'm not surprised at all that they're very well adjusted, very well dressed, they groom nicely. That doesn't surprise me at all because Danielle was always on top of her shit. She was that girl that if you fucking change your dog to your house on a fucking leash, or you fucking left your dog outside without cover or food or water, she'd let your ass know. And I'm talking when she was like 11 or 12, she would go to your door and tell you what a piece of shit you are because your dog went all day tied up in the sun with no water. She was something. I fucking loved her the day I met her. I said, this kid's cool. The day I met her, she was like taking someone's dog. And all the kids in the neighborhood were like, this girl Danielle's taking these people's dog. And I'm like, why is she doing that? And they're like, because the people left it in the sun all day on a rope. She's going to go take care of it. And I just remember the girl like writing this crazy letter to these people like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Taking care of your animal like this. She was little. She was a kid. She was probably in the 5th or 6th grade. I think she was in Tracy's school at the time. And that's when I met her. I knew who her brothers were. But she was a cute kid, Danielle was. She'd go around saving all the animals. This girl took her fucking money. She had birthday money and stuff, or like money she earned. And she'd go to the store and buy milk bones and like dog food and go around the neighborhood and feed other people's fucking pets because they were neglectful. Like she'd see they didn't have no fucking milk bone or something. She would get them one. The girl has the biggest heart. She's a sweetheart. And she's a life friend. She's one of those people that you can just, fall off with because life is in the way. And you call her and you tell her you're in town and you're going to come visit her. And when you do, you pick up like you never fucking missed a day. The last time I saw this Danielle chick, I went to her house. It was like New Year's. And I showed up late in the night and I had my daughter Justine with me. And I hadn't brought the kids. She had never met my littles. But she knew Justine and I brought Justine with me. And I just remember at the time she was with her ex. And the ex was like in the basement playing video games. And she's like, George, you've got to come out of the basement. Laura Pike is here. And he's like, I'm going to stay in the basement. And she's like, no, the fuck you won't. Laura Pike's here. You got to go out of the basement. And I go, and I always loved George, but he had too many problems and he held this girl down. He held her down. I really loved George. And my mother, was friends. My father was friends with his parents. And I had a long history with George, but he just held my girl down. He held her down. He kept her from being the woman she needed to be. And this new husband that she has, he's a great man. He takes care of the kids. They do things together. They go on trips. They have a good life, and I'm glad to see that she ended up with such a good life. I really am. That her both brothers ended up pretty successful, in an okay situation. Kids, decent, families and stuff. That's all I ever wanted for them, was to not run into fucking addiction or hard times or any of that shit. I was just one of the people that I knew, when they were growing up to end up in a good place in life. Not out fucked up in jail and, chasing addictions. And so I'm glad to see them so successful in their lives. And they got beautiful kids and it just makes my heart nice, puts my heart in a place where it needs to be. I got friends right here in Puerto Rico. I've only known 5 years of straight addiction. And a couple of them I taken to rehab, but they're back right in the same spot as that when I found them because they weren't ready. And I kind of like pushed them to go to rehab, and apparently they weren't ready for it. But I always let them know, whenever you're ready, fucking get a hold of me. I'll take you right down there. If you want help, I'll help you. I hate to lose friends to that shit. People get addicted to their pain meds or whatever the situation is. Next thing you know, you don't even know them anymore. They become total strangers. So I don't wish that on anybody, you know. Like I talked about earlier, my brother-in-law, Tom, he's the fucking nicest guy you ever want to meet. He truly is. I mean, he really fucking is the nicest person you ever meet. But he gets drinking, and all of a sudden, you like, literally don't want to be around him because you're afraid he'll fight you. You know, he starts wanting to fist fight. And it's just the addiction taking over his brain. So it sucks. I hate to see people going through it, especially people I care about and people I know like that. But I'm going to get off this live, and I just wanted to address that today, you know, that, you know, if, you know, you want to be with someone, you have to be with them consensually. You can't have sex with people while they're sleeping, or, you know, you're having people on drugs, passed out, slipping people drugs, doing any of that shit. You know, sex should be consensual, and it shouldn't be forced, and it shouldn't be one party, you know, completely aware of what's going on while the other party's in another fucking planet. It's shit like that, you know. It's not right. And it's just something I had to get off my chest because, you know, not many people will speak on that shit. You know, not a lot of people will speak up and say, yeah, I was fucking sexually violated, you know. But it happens, and people need to learn their place with others. If somebody declines you, doesn't want you, or doesn't want you anymore, you just need to accept it and find someone else. There's a whore for everybody, but you don't need to take away from people by taking them in an unconscious state, you know, manipulating them, exploiting them. And like I talked about earlier, again, you know, you're fucking sound asleep and someone's standing over you, manipulating questions and answers out of you. It's abuse, you know. It's fucking exploitation. If you got somebody doing that shit to you, you're a sleep talker. You've got somebody standing over you, asking you questions and prompting answers out of you and such. That's just fucking abuse. Anyone that's gonna do that to you is exploiting you. So if you ever have that going on, you know what's going on, or you discover it's going on, that person's like toxic. They need to be like removed and banished from your life. Because no person should be able to, should have to sleep on God like that. No person should worry, like, am I going to be, you know, sleeping tonight under the influence of drugs that I don't know about? And then having sex I don't consent to? Is this going to happen to me? So maybe I'll sleep with my fucking jeans and belt on, just in case. Because, yeah, that's wild to worry about how you might sleep safely. Especially in your own home. So take that into consideration when you start dating new people. That don't make the mistake I made. Your home is not the place to entertain new relationships. It's just not. Take them to an Airbnb, meet them at a mutual place, but do not take strangers into your home to entertain relationships. It's dangerous. And with that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. I love you all very much. Those of you who did stop in today, I appreciate you and respect you all for stopping in, visiting with me, and listening to what I have to talk about today. But it is a very serious matter. You know, sexually assaulting somebody, it's rape is what it is. When you're having sex with somebody in the unconscious state and you're prying answers out of them and asking them questions and such in the sleep state. And it's just fucking dangerous, and people shouldn't be doing that. And it's just something that needs to be talked about more. And, you know, people like me, you know, to go to a police station and say, oh, you know, this woman did this to me. Is, you know, not a lot of people would have the courage to even speak up on it. And I'm not saying I'm at a police station discussing this, because I'm not. But I do feel, you know, that it needs to be brought to light and discussed. Because when the person that does that to you speaks so candidly about how they went about doing that, and they don't see any fault in it or don't see any criminal outline in that, it's concerning. And that's all I'm going to say about that. It's very concerning, because if you're laying in bed with somebody and they haven't given you permission to be with them sexually, you're fucking violating them. And if you're standing over a sleeping person prying answers and questions out of them, you're violating them. And if you're putting muscle relaxers in people's food and drinks because you think that they need to rest, because you think that they need to calm down, because you think that that's what they need in their life, you're wrong. You could kill a person doing that because you don't know their underlying conditions. You don't know the medication they may or may not have told you they're taking. And so with that being said, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a very good day. I'll see you all soon. I'll be back doing my lives. I'll be back interviewing businesses shortly. I've lined up some places that are willing to do some businesses and discuss their products. We'll be visiting with them soon. I'll see you all later. Take care. I love you guys. Peace.